Welcome to the About Me podcast. I have the great pleasure of speaking with Chani. She is a powerhouse of an educator who we met in Brazil just a few days ago. I am humbled by her and her team, her enthusiasm, her warmth, and more than anything else, her massive intellect. She is the principal of the Judaic Studies principal of the Beit Yaacov, a school of 1,000 children, and her responsibilities are the oversight and leadership on the Torah side of the institution, from high school all the way down to preschool. And it's great to have you.
Nice to meet you, Rabbi. Thank you for the beautiful introduction.
Thank you. My pleasure. So, Chani, give us a quick sense of how you got into Chinuch.
I got into Chinuch by osmosis. My mother used to be a teacher here in Brazil. So I grew up knowing what I want to do, and I just went for it. I worked for 13 years in a different institution before coming here. And then I decided that maybe I was too young. Maybe I don't want to go into education. And I quit. I left. And while I was trying to figure out what I want to do, I realized that that's what I want to do. I had the invitation to come to Beit Yaacov, and the rest is history.
And you got here and you immediately took a position of leadership?
No. At the time, we had a very hard time in school with the tefillah. Tefillah was just not going, and Esther called me up and she said, "You're the last try. Otherwise, we're taking out tefillah." And then she didn't know that she was giving me a huge responsibility, because I couldn't say no to the offer and I couldn't fail. So thank God, it was a good beginning, very meaningful. I have a lot of support from her, which makes the world of a difference.
Awesome.
And here we are.
Love it. What drives you? You know, I hold that educators are the most important people on the planet. There's a massive amount of mesirut nefesh, sacrifice. The job never ends. You touch a person's life and you impact that life, and you have to make sure you impact it well,
Right.
because the impact could be forever.
And
So
people-
what drives you?
I think what drives me is the innocence of students. They want to connect. They need the connection. And we each have our own teachers that impacted us. So that comes through my mind all the time, like what got me here, who were the people that impacted me. But on a daily basis, we see that sometimes a smile could make a difference on a child, a hug, and it drives us forward.
Great. What was your crisis? Give us a point where you said, maybe I don't belong here. Maybe my quiet giant element, my effort is in something else.
Okay, so I think the crisis was right in the beginning. It was very hard for me to adjust. I had a lot of experience in the other institution, but this is much bigger, much more demanding, a lot more professional. And I said, I'm not going to tell them because I don't want to disappoint them, but I'm only staying 6 months. That was my first decision. And then after 6 months, my father passed away. So I even had more of an excuse. I had to take care of my mother, I have to take care of everything else. And I spoke to school and I said, I'm very sorry, I'm going to have to quit. And they told me, no, now that your father passed away, you have even more of a responsibility to do something meaningful for him. But the truth is that that's what I wanted to hear, because I wanted to quit of my responsibilities. But I did feel like the students needed me and I couldn't quit for them. So
what was your most meaningful interaction with an educator and the most meaningful interaction with a student?
With an educator was an educator that she was going through a very hard time in her personal life, and we told her to leave school and to take care of everything that she needed to take care, and we organized with the students a chalabek in zechut, in honor of everything that she was going through. And I thought that was the right thing to do, but I didn't think that would impact her so much. And that evening, her husband called me up crying. I was so touched, so touched. And then I realized that we have over here, it's a universe. It's an ongoing chain of exchange. And I think that's for sure for me was, as with the educator, that was the most meaningful interaction. And with students, we travel every year, we do the March of the Living. And I had a student that from day one, whenever we touched the word emunah, she told me, go slow with me because it doesn't belong to me. And we left one of the camps and she asked for the microphone. She didn't have to. And she spoke beautiful. She said, thank you for igniting something that I had inside and I just couldn't admit it. And she put it in such a beautiful words that she actually inspired us that today when we do the trip, we ask the kids to speak because that's when they're in their moment.
Awesome. In our program, which we, Ricky Cohen Experience, we train educators to think like entrepreneurs, to first and foremost build themselves and keep themselves at a level where they're full and energized and excited about their own personal lives, and then give them the tools to bring that into the classroom as well. We had a micro session here with some of your educators a little while
ago. And it
ago.
was beautiful and very, very inspiring. And I think the point of the entrepreneurs, it was the big chidush to all of them. Everything else they've heard with different settings, but this was very beautiful.
Beautiful. So can we make our educators entrepreneurs, and what are the benefits from your perspective?
For sure. The benefits are that, first of all, when they're inspired, they inspire. But also, like, they see that they could grow, that they're never in the same place. And I think we have a lot of support also from the head of the school to always think out of the box. She always buys the ideas and she puts them to practice. So I think you touched the point that you just made it legitimate that you could go for it.
Educators should be entrepreneurs. They should be growing, they should be vibrant. To Chani's point, they themselves need to be mahadesh, coming up with new ideas. They're right there. And over here, you have those types of people. And under your leadership, you'll keep building them.
Thank God.
One more quick question. We had a full day yesterday with your students. They, from our perspective, were gracious, kind, respectful, responsive. Gail and I walked away very inspired by them. Give us a quick sense of what we talked about and how you feel you and your team will build on it.
Yeah. First of all, it was very, very successful. We were very hesitant. They're young. It's a long day. There's a lot to do. We were concerned about how involved they're going to be right away, talking to someone that they didn't build a relationship yet. And it was very successful. But I think they came out with so much that they were reflecting. This morning I already had a student that came to thank me and came to think that he did not expect this from a rabbi. He said, I got a coach, I feel like I got a coach. And another student came over to me and he said, that's what we needed because our minds are always thinking and we never know when's the right time to switch from present to future. That's how he said. And we understood that it's today and it's
awesome.
Now. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
You added so much to our school, to our students.
Thank you. It was really my total pleasure. We're going back to New York tomorrow night. We will miss this beautiful community that has enriched our lives so much. We met so many fabulous people. We're really one community, in fact. So send a message to our parents and our educators from your vantage point as a wonderful, outstanding parent and educator.
I think we're so different. In Brazil we have our culture, in America you have your culture, but then when we start talking, there's so much in common. We're one, we're dealing with the same challenges, but also we're dealing with the same pure neshamot that they need us to grow and to give their best. They are our futures, they are our leaders, and that's what Am Yisrael really needs. So thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Thank
Thank you. Wow.